It is morning and I have awakened to see all the beautiful birds. That's right. That's a right one. The word the praise a ball. Praise a ball. Bamper a ball. Powder ball. Preen ball. Oh, hey Paul, how are you? Oh, Hey Paul, what you watching? Like when I watch old Paul just to watch the new Paul. Old Paul is so yesterday. It's all about new Paul. Paul, round as a ball. So fucking fat, can't fit down the hall. Oh boy. Damn it. Nausea. Sorry. Child. That fucking sucks. Come on, D. D, come on. Come on. Okay, we're staying there. Fuck. Oh, now you want to come. Come on. Holy shit, bro. Oh, man, that fucking sucks. Ooh. Oh, that fucking really sucks. Anywho. Hey, Paul, how's it hanging? Nausea. I just got really nauseous. My morning sickness. I think I've been pregnant for about 3 or 4 years. Ooh. I just get. I'm pretty sure that it's just me that I'm sucking snot all day. I wake up, my allergy pill from yesterday has worn off completely, and so my sinuses are all impacted. And then it comes, you know, post-nasal drip where it's just pouring down your throat. And I think I get a belly full of that. What'd you do if you found an original Picasso painting or drawing at the thrift store? Would you keep it or sell it for millions? Sell it for millions. I'm sorry. I've never been in, like, I like Picasso. I think his art is cool, but I don't need to own one, you know. I can't think of a Picasso that would be possible. Like, you know, we're talking about, like, because Picasso did a lot of stuff. He worked in every medium. So Picasso did ceramics, Picasso did mixed media paintings and woodwork and everything else in between, sculpting. So if I were to find like a Picasso plate or a Picasso vase or something, that could be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars or millions maybe, depending on the vase. But what the fuck am I going to do with that? You know? Greetings, intelligent life form. Sorry, you got me twisted, player. No intelligence here. You often paid for stuff by doing little drawings. Yeah. Little pencil sketches, charcoal sketches. I mean, the dude worked in every medium. One of the most prolific artists ever. I mean, he made art all day, every day until he died, basically. Oh, he was unstoppable. Unstoppable, yeah. Just driven by absolute, you know, manic will to just express himself constantly, made art every single day, all day. There were stories of Picasso late into his life where people would show up to visit him and he would just be covered head to toe in plaster at 70 something or 60 something, you know, just absolutely. I heard he was pretty cruel to his lovers sometimes. Yeah, well, you know, artists are volatile individuals sometimes, you know. You smoke dope? Yeah, I'm actually gonna finish up this cigarette, and then I'm gonna go and grab me one of my J's. I'll toast a little J this morning and get me going. I think you guys know Goat versus Fish, right? I'm pretty sure Goat versus Fish is gonna come visit me here today. I invited him since he was in the area. So, Goat versus Fish. Do you be goat? Doobie doobie. Doobie doo wah. Do you be fish? What's up, homie? Bro, Paul taught me in glitch. Paul. Fuck, bro. Paul, me, and Glitch might carpool to the meetup. Oh, Glitch Dash. Nito Burrito. That's cool. You guys are in the same zone. This is how connections are made. You know what I mean? Like, this is how people of like mind meet each other. That's why I like doing these meetups, man. Lifelong friendships and associations and stuff are made at these meetups. It'll be cool. Who's an actor you would consider washed up? Seth Green. I don't know why I just gave him all the strays, but he's the first name that jumped into my mind. Blacklisted from Hollywood, yeah. Not maybe totally blacklisted, but like a Mickey Rourke. Nobody wanted to work with him for a long time because he was so volatile, and then now people will put him in movies, but only with like handlers. Whisper my name, papi. Papi. Ay, papi. Papi chulo. ¿Cómo está, papi chulo? Will Smith's rap sucks. Yeah. 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 Getting jiggy with it. Ooh, na, 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 na. Ooh, na, 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 na. Getting jiggy with it. I mean, it's just like Fruity ass, fucking lame ass shit. Describe Fox News in one sentence. Is that a sentence? Have you listened to the new Tyler, the Creator yet? I have not. I have not. I want to. I do like Tyler. I just have not gotten around to fucking spinning it yet. Does Fox have the Epstein files? Probably. What the fox say? Ba-dum bum bum ba-dum bum 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 ba-dum bum. What the fox say? What the bird say? Tweety tweet 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 tweety tweet tweet tweet. What the hippo say? Are you Santa Claus? You better hope I'm not. Better hope I'm not, because you've been a very bad boy, Coco Channel. A very bad boy. You're getting a lump of coal in your stocking this year if I'm Santa. You get it? Yeah, you're on the fucking naughty list. You better start doing some good stuff. You got a few months to Christmas. You better make up. You better be good. I'll take some coal for my barbecue. Only one lump, though. You can't do shit with one lump of coal. That's what you're getting in your stocking, Wilfredo. One lump. Sucks to be you. Need to lay off the shrooms, bro. I need to lay on the shrooms. I'm gonna go get a joint. Herb. I'm gonna keep that funky Dixieland. Pretty mama gonna take me by the hand. By the hand now, take me by the hand. Pretty mama, dance with your daddy all night long. I wanna hear some funky Dixieland. Pretty mama, come and take me by the hand. Is it uncomfortable for people to be around a person that coughs on public transportation or farts? Yeah, dude, fuck that. I don't want to catch the zombie virus on a bus or a train. I'm gonna catch it. I want to get bit or something. I want a chance to defend myself. Iced coffee. But yeah, Goat versus Fish is going to come over today. Isn't that exciting? Goat versus Fish is coming to my house. And he said he might even want to stream. I'm not going to force the issue, though. I like to just chill. I'll be honest with you. I've met Goat versus Fish probably like 6 times now, 5 times. And I don't think we've ever gotten more than like 2 or 3 minutes to sit and talk to each other. So I'd like to do that. I'd like to find out a little more about Goat versus Fish. That's what I'm looking forward to. The legend, the man, and the myth. Yeah. I don't know, Hugs. You got me, buddy. Man, you are brimming with question today, Hugs. Brimming with you got every question in the book, man. You're on fire. Sometimes I'll only be one sentence in to answer one of your questions. You got two more out already. A brother can't keep up. Yeah. Goat do be goat and a fish do be fish. You're on a roll. Yeah, intellectually on a roll. What can I say, man? That sometimes it just flows. Like nobody knows. All the way to my toes. And our wisdom grows as the wind it blows. Boats and hoes, yeah. Hugs ask fun questions, even though they're sometimes way off topic. Hugs can't be constrained by your topicals. Hugs can't. Is that a joint? Nah. Don't worry about it, officer. This is a hand-rolled cigarette. Hey, Scotty. Jesus, man. Bum, 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 bum. Oh, Faith and Bagora, hello to you too. May the road rise up to meet your feet as you walk these paths to Dublin. May the road rise up to meet your feet as you walk the winding path of Dublin. You have a family tartan? Yes. I don't know what it is. Well, I don't have a picture of it or a swatch of it, but yes. And the Macbean tartan, you can go look it up. I am, on my mother's side, a direct lineage to Clan Macbean in Scotland. And they have a family tartan. And then on my father's side, Clan Park. I've not watched Sinners yet. I'm still finishing up with Hulu, and then I'm gonna get the HBO, and then I'm gonna start Sinners. Do you care for the Dexter series? Not really much, to be honest. Not really my cup of tea, you know. A fucking guy, you know, I thought he was gonna get caught. Was flabbergasted. Was flabbergasted when he didn't get caught. You know. Hey, what the fuck? It sucked to live in Europe, get arrested for having a screwdriver. Well, you know, they'll stab you, mate. They'll stab you in the gut with a screwdriver or a knife. Is an Irish vampire in Sinners. Oh, well, thanks. Thanks for the spoiler. You know, I just got done saying I never seen Sinners. I don't need to know. You get me? I'm gonna watch it. I don't need you to fill me in. About roller skates. I've got a brand new pair of roller skates. You've got a brand new key. I think we should all get together and go to skate with me. You know, you like that song? I've got something you need. Well, I've got a brand new pair of roller skates. You got a brand new key. You're terrible at accents. Why, laddie? That's true. That's very true. I think that you got something I need. Well, I got a brand new pair of roller skates. You got a brand new key. Is it true the CIA or someone pumped an ape with THC in the 60s and 70s and died? It took 2 pounds of it? What? I ain't heard of that. Yeah, it had no oxygen. They pumped it. He died of asphyxiation. That's cruel. Oh, it's yeah, it's cruel. Well, people are cruel. You got something I need. I don't know. I don't know, Ghoul. I honestly don't know what that is called. That little Irish jig thing that they do. Is it a jig? Maybe that's it. Maybe it's an Irish jig. Where you draw the line with animal testing. Yeah, I mean, only in like no more animal testing for cosmetic products or any kind of cosmetic, because that is really the cruelest and most pointless kind of animal testing that exists. No more animal testing for that shit. In instances where it is unethical or impossible because of ethics to experiment on human subjects, we need animal subjects. All right. Science has used this technique to advance medicine, right? So we need this. But it should be done ethically. Irish step dance. Ooh. That's true. We do everything right. Oh, Danny boy, the pipes are calling. It's true. Well, who doesn't love Ireland? Faith and Begora, who doesn't love the Emerald Isle? Who doesn't love pecking a shamrock and kissing the Blarney Stone, eh? Law dude stoned. Am I Irish? I'm beyond Irish. So I did my 23andMe, and I got back 3 ancestry points. Ireland, well, 4. Ireland, Great Britain, Scotland, and the Nordic countries. That's it. That's all I am. Which is all basically saying one people, because like Irish, British, Nordic, Scottish, they are all the same people. What's your religion? I'm a Taoist. Yeah. Do you know much about the ancient Celtic people? Cú Chulainn. Chu Chulainn. Isn't that a Celtic folk hero? Chu Chulain. He rode a chariot and was a folk hero. Chu Chulain. Krampus. Oh, no. Vader, you son of a bitch, you. No. What are you doing today, man? What are you doing up at fucking 10 in the morning, Vader? I thought you were, you know what? Now that I think about it, it doesn't surprise me that Don Vader is up early. Doesn't surprise me in the least. Don Vader, the early bird gets the fucking worm. You're off today. See? You see what I'm talking about? What a guy. What a guy. Well, welcome. Kick your feet up. First time here? Cool, welcome. Respect the vibe and you won't get dunked on. Don't piss me off or I'll get mad. Almost 1 p.m. over here in the EST. Yeah, that's right. I always forget that shit. It's 10 a.m. here. I got up like an hour ago. Show us the snow. I got no snow, man. I am in the mountains, but no snow because it's summer. I'm not high enough to get the caps. But you got something I need. Well, I got a brand new pair of roller skates. You got a brand new key. Whereabouts? Pacific Northwest. So I'm in Washington, in the mountains. I'm from the Dom Rep. Oh shit. What was that song that came out? My father's from what is it? I'm Chile Dominico Rican. But I always say I'm from Queens. My father's from Cuba and shit, or Chile, NPR, which means I'm Chile Dominico Rican. But I just say I'm from Queens. You ever watched a whole Bollywood movie? I'm a small content creator. Any tips? Don't quit your day job. Don't quit your day job. How about that? It's tough, man. How we liking them bearded ladies? Dude, go look up the bearded lady from American Horror Story, AHS Freak Show. Go look up the bearded lady from AHS Freak Show and then look at me. Or I'll stay right here. It's wild. Oh, dude, I will talk about some shit about Hollywood. The Hollywood lies, Sahar. But I want everybody to go look up the bearded lady from American Horror Story Freak Show and then come look at me right now. Here it is. Tell me tell me we're not twins. Tell me we're not twins. It's fucked up. I didn't even know it till somebody pointed it out. You know? I just gave Don the bomb. I just gave Don the bomb. Don, you could drop that over at the Dome, Don. You could drop that at the Dome, Don. Paul, you're looking like fucking the bearded lady from Freak Show. Kathy Bates with the beard. No, Kathy Bates wears a beard in that show. She doesn't have the stash, but I mean, come on, though. Remove the stash. It's me. Kathy Bates plays me in that show. Drop it in the Dome. I was going to say, Dude, I went on a tear last night. You guys are gonna have to bear with me. Paul rant incoming. I was fucking bored last night, eating dinner, wanted to find something to watch with Amelia while we sat and ate dinner. So I was scrolling Netflix. I found this documentary series called The Dark Side of Kidfluencing. And I was like, what the fuck is kidfluencing? So I start watching this, right? And of course, it's about these parents that take their kids and basically pimp them out online through YouTube. So they take like a little 8-year-old girl and they make her do videos all day. And they think they're making videos, well, ostensibly, they're making videos for children. But when you look into it, it's 92% males that watch this shit and older males. And so I'm watching this because there's this one, I can't even remember, her name was Piper. I'm trying to remember the name of the little girl at the center of this. Piper Rockaway or something like that. Piper Raquel. Some little fucking YouTube chick from back in the 2015s, 2016s. Yeah, thank you. And you know, her mom and her kind of collected all of these little teenagers, right? Or not teenagers really, like little 12, 11, 8-year-olds, right? They put them all in this house and do a content farm, basically. And all of these parents willingly threw their children into the fucking mouth of the industry, right? And so the Piper Raquel and her mom are the center of this documentary because they were the big stars at the center of this big group of kids that all got exploited and abused and shit, right? Basically. And because Piper Raquel and her mom are the center of it, they chose not to talk to the documentary. And this is what fucked me up. This is what fucked me up bad. All of these moms, and they were all mothers too, 100% women. All of these moms, right, get to sit now on this show and villainize a mom that was doing the same thing as they did because she's the center of the thing. And they get to run cover for themselves for throwing their children into the maw. Because all of these women are sitting here talking about how weird it was and gross it was, but they ignored the red flags. Do you want to know why they ignored the red flags? Does anybody want to guess why these mothers didn't have a problem with these like fake relationships, shipping, making these kids pair up and kiss? Right there it is, baby. Right there it is. Money. They knew it back then when they were dropping their child off to be exploited and made into pedo bait because they were getting paid a bunch of guap for it. And now that it's been exposed, all these women are like, we were fooled. We didn't know. There was no way we could have known. And it's like, fuck you. Those women are more villainous than the central woman to me. That central woman's just sick. Those women willingly threw their children into the pit for money. And then now Netflix is doing a documentary to run cover for them. So that they can pretend like we were just victims of this horrible woman. I got sick, dude. I got to the second episode and I was like, fuck it. I can't watch this anymore. I was so... Bro, if you watch that documentary, I was so fucking disgusted by those women. Those mothers that willingly tossed their kids into the furnace for money and then ran cover. It's on Netflix, Pranav. It's called The Dark Side of Kidfluencing or something. It's a Netflix docuseries. Oh, thanks for the $10. Appreciate it. Yeah, that fucking had me fucked up last night. Because these women are just like talking about like, you know, yeah, the shipping thing was a little strange at first, but I guess when you see it happen enough times, it's just like not as weird. And it did bring in a lot of money. And it's just like these bitches. Dude, I was sitting there, I was seething and coping. I was like, these bitches like went, got their makeup done, fucking put on their best little pantsuit and did their hair up and got all dolled up and gussied up and soft lighting so that they could sit there and make excuses for throwing their daughters and sons into the fucking wood chipper for money. And it just, I was about to fucking puke just looking at them. I was about to puke just looking at them. And you know what? I got far enough in the documentary. Guess what it's all connected to? Guess what industry, even though it has really nothing to do with YouTube, guess what industry is involved in feeding all of these kids into the wood chipper and finding these parents that like money more than they like their children? Yeah, thanks, Massa. What do you think they are? What industry? No, this is content creation. What industry is involved? Hollywood, Hollywood, Hollywood. You know what happened? During COVID, Hollywood had all these child stars, but they couldn't get them together for big productions. So you know what they did? Put them in the wood chipper, 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 send them to these content houses, make pedo bait, fucked. They did a study on just one of these tween girl, 13, 14-year-old girl kidfluencers. They did a study of her Instagram, demographic study, and they found that 96% of the people watching her were men over the age of 20. She's making all these, we're going to make a birthday cake with Barbie on it. Doodly-doo, doodly-doo. Making these little, and you look at it, you know, you ran across that, you'd be, oh, it's for little kids. 96% of the people watching this shit that's all over YouTube right now are men. How old was this kid? When she started, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, does it matter? You know, I'm not saying to you, but I'm just saying. Fucked up. Fucked up. 96% of the followers of this little tween girl doing little tween dances on a little tween Instagram account were men. And kids don't say anything wrong with this because, yeah, kids like it because they get to get famous, and their mom feeds them right. Their mom and dad, not to give the dads, but there were no dads in this documentary, predictably. That mom is supposed to be the first barrier against exploitation. The first. Anybody that's trying to fuck with your child, one way or the other, should run right into you like that. You feel me? And these women went like, oh, come on over. I'm getting sick to my fucking stomach thinking about it again, bro. I could not finish that series. And you know what? I'm canceling fucking Netflix. I told Amelia last night. Dude, they're running cover for these people with this shit documentary. This documentary should be about what causes mothers, and it really is mostly mothers, because you know what else is connected to this? The pageant industry. You know that industry where they put little girls, and I'm talking toddlers, in string bikinis and full makeup and have them go. It's a factory. And it's eating children. And it's normalized on some level in this fucking society. And nobody's, and every time, right? You remember how I told you, the parent is supposed to be that first wall where an offender goes, no, right? But there's other walls. There's other walls. Let's talk about some of the other people that are asleep at the wheel when it comes to this, right? YouTube raked in millions of dollars on pedo bait and is still doing it right now. What's up with that? Cancel this shit. Make a rule, Nobody under 18 on the platform. You know why they don't? Anybody want to guess why they won't make that rule? Do I need to do it again? So YouTube asleep at the wheel, state regulators asleep at the wheel, federal regulators asleep at the wheel, law enforcement, the FBI, and local law enforcement asleep at the wheel because everybody's getting their palms greased. Everybody's filthy with this disgusting money. And everybody's going like, oh, it's not my business. Somebody should do something. It's literal Kitty Genovese. Literally bystander syndrome. Everybody that's got the power to stop this shit is looking the other way, shrugging and pointing somewhere else. Oh, that's just, some of the sheriff should do something about that. FBI should do something about that. And it's all the way up to the top. Netflix is scummy with this. Scummy with it because they're running cover for these women with this documentary. They're using a scapegoat tactic to put it on one mom so that another bunch of moms can get to fucking abdicate responsibility for throwing their children into a wood chipper. I can't do it, dude. I was just so, and it's like this is one of those things you don't think about it all the time. You know what's going on. You don't think about it, and it just put it in my face. And I was just like, man, I'm so fucking disgusted with that industry and with this fucking website and with everybody involved in it. Ugh. Disgusting lack of accountability of these women. They just thought they were victims like their child was. And they don't know that they are supposed to be that wall that stops this shit. They do know that. They just abdicate responsibility for their failure to do it. I think I'm going to cancel because it was just disgusting to see that big ass company running cover for these women. Never holding their feet to the flames, never getting hostile with them in the interviews. Why do you keep blaming this woman? Aren't you this child's mother? Wasn't it you that put your son into this weird fucking pedo bait house? Wasn't it you that was supposed to have red flags going off left, right, and center when your son was working 12, 13, 14-hour days in a content house and he's 10? Wasn't that supposed to be you? Where were you in this process? And why shouldn't we be making a documentary about your son and you and how you exploited him? That question will never be asked. All these women will get to just pretend like they're poor little victims, just like their children really are, right? They're children of the victims. But they get to co-opt their children's victimhood and claim ignorance. Disgusts me. The way people run cover for this shit. All of these women involved in the pageant scene. Bro, I'm not saying everybody in there is in it for that reason, for the wrong reasons, but there's no right reason to dress a little girl up in a string bikini. But for some reason, go look it up. Every fucking state runs these things. Every state. Multiples of them. Why is that okay in our society? Especially now. Yeah, I'll tell you guys something. I'm not trying to, listen, if you want to watch this documentary I'm talking about, spoiler alert. It got to a point last night where one of the little girls was telling a story about how she was riding around with one of these moms, and she caught the mom sending one of the little girl's panties in the mail to somebody. One of the moms involved in all of this mailing a man a little girl's worn panties, a bag full of them. And that's when I was like, nope. Well, I didn't turn it right off then, but you know what the next thing was? One of these moms that isn't being implicated in the documentary going like, yeah, I mean, of course we had no idea something like that was going on. And I'm just like, you bitch. You fucking scum bitch. And I was like, nobody in this documentary, Netflix is not going to hold these women accountable. So I was just like, fuck this. They knew. You know why they knew? Because why do you think that woman was mailing a bag of panties to some pedo? There's a sadness to these moms too. They live vicariously through their daughters. They're old, dried up. A lot of them are chunky, fat, fucked up, let themselves go. They've got a cute daughter that's got their whole world in front of them. And they start living through that daughter, dressing her up like a woman, setting her up in these little mock relationships and shit, sexualizing her so that you can remember what it was like to be young and pubescent. It's disgusting. And these women should all be fucking, that number one, should be a federal law that children can't enter into competitions that involve fucking like bathing suit costumery and shit, right? They want to be in a little play, they want to be in a little band, cool. But no parading around in swimsuits with makeup on, okay? Zip. That needs to be banned in this country. The fact that it's still culturally okay for people to put their children through that, especially now because people know what the industry is wild. And anybody that willingly puts their kids in that today is complicit. So that's step one. Step two, YouTube needs to wake the fuck up and quit hosting terabytes and terabytes and infinite terabytes of pedo bait and pretending it's kid stuff. Because the numbers are in. It's all men watching this shit. Little girls doing cartwheels, playing with their puppies, pretending to ship with another little boy and have their first kiss video. All this shit, it's not little girls and boys watching it. I hate this shit, bro. Yeah, imagine catching one of the moms that works with you and your friends sending a bag full of panties and asking your mom why that's happening. And she goes, oh, don't worry about it. It's no big deal. Get in the content pit and go ship with your little boyfriend. But Mom, I don't really like Connor. Shut up and go kiss him. Oh my God, it's content. Why are you being such a little bitch? But Connor doesn't like me either. Well, he's a little prick. He's a little prick. So get ready. Get ready. 3, 2, 1. All right, kiss. Get the angle. Lips out. That's a video. Cut. Okay. Now you guys spoon. Now you spoon a little bit. You be the little spoon piper. You, Connor, you be the big spoon. That's what's going on in this movie. I'm not even kidding you. That's what's going on in this documentary about this fucking YouTube content. So Netflix is doing a documentary running like trying to make a moral. It's presented like it's a true crime documentary, but as far as I know, nobody's been charged. There's only been civil suits about this case, right? And all of the moms that willingly fed their children into this content wood chipper where they were being forced to kiss other little boys and little girls and pretend they were in love and all this crazy pedo bait shit that's still up on YouTube, by the way, all of it, right? All these moms that knew what was being made and fed their children in the wood chipper for this, they got run cover for on this Netflix documentary. They got their makeup done and they got a wardrobe on and they get to pretend like they're victims, like their children are. They're the victimizers. They're the ones that threw their children into the wood chipper and weren't looking hard enough and allowed this woman to be alone with their children and didn't pay attention when the content started getting weird. I don't blame our legal system. I blame those women, those parents. Oh, they got paid. Dude, they were going through the numbers and I was getting sick. It's like Piper at the center of this little content house was making $600,000 a month. And then they did a little, you know how Netflix is. Piper's at the center. Then here's a little Connor and he's making 25 grand a month. And here's Stacy and she's making 40 grand a month. And here's Jennifer and she's making 25 grand a month. And here's Lacey and she's making 100 grand a month. And here, you know what I mean? And all of that was feeding back into Piper's network and her shit. They were making over 6 figures a month, like high 6 figures a month. That is big money. That's big money hustling. We're talking 800 grand per month, like clockwork. And it's all pedo bait. It's all little girls doing cartwheels in the backyard, pretending to kiss boys. The moms are victims. No, they are not. The moms are abusers and exploiters that sold their children for money. Don't get on my bad side, Sahar. Don't run cover for these cunts. They are supposed to be the first people in line to stop their children from being hurt. That's their job. That's your mom. Here's a pedo. Nope. Get it? Don't correct me then. Don't say they are victims. They're not victims. And if they are, they're victims of their own stupidity, cruelty, and greed. Self-made victims. I don't even have children. And I know this shit. I guarantee, yeah, Ghoul's got kids. Pretty sure. There's a couple of moms and dads in here. Yep, 3 teenage kids. Let me ask you something, Desi. Would you, if somebody offered you 45 grand a month, let your kid be shipped in a content house outside of your purview ever for any reason? Does that even sound like something that you would consider for a fucking second? I'm guessing the answer is no. I didn't mean to put you on the spot, but I'm guessing the answer is no. Will Smith does, yeah, it's all connected. It's all connected to this grubby ass Hollywood industry. And I gotta say, we can move on to a different topic because I didn't mean to go on this long of a fucking rant about this. But I'm gonna say what I said to my wife last night, and I'll say it publicly. I don't know what form it's gonna take, and I don't know how long it's gonna be, but there is a reckoning coming. There's a reckoning. Because people are starting to wake up to the fact that this isn't just isolated incidents here and there. It's a factory. It's a child exploitation, human exploitation, sexual exploitation factory. And the roots go deep. What do you think? You think this is disconnected from all this Epstein shit going on right now? All these powerful men flying to an island to fuck little girls and little boys, right? There's a reckoning, and I smell it. Ghoulish behavior indeed. I'd live under a bridge eating roaches before I sold my kid to a pedo. Those moms are predators. Exactly my point. Thank you, ghoul. And that's a mother. That's a mother's perspective. So, chill the fuck back. Come on, dude. Oof. Oofa. We gotta, that was a chicken. Hear him? Chickens. Somebody's laying an egg. If you've been around chickens, you know that's the I'm laying an egg. Yeah, they go. That means they're laying an egg. There's a lot of little critters that live around here. Little squirrelies. Oh man, no fuck. I gotta. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I know it was like, dude. I really do think more people need to fucking talk about the subject we were just talking about. But I gotta call it there if that's okay with you guys. I'll tell you guys this, you know, because it's in my fucking mind. I was in one of those pageants. I have a picture of myself. I'll find it just because people always say no. So I took this. I just got to go through my photos and find it. But my mom's got these pictures of me, and I won one of these baby pageants when I was a kid. Let me see. All right, how do you get to your pictures? Fuck. Never mind. Hold on. Let me figure this shit out real quick. Photos. There we go. Okay. Select. No, cancel. Sorry, my iPhone shit is very. I just want photos, portraits. Okay, yeah. I've got a bunch of these. This is a good way to select it out, I think. Oh, I've got some really good pictures of me and my family in here that I haven't seen in a while. Let me find the one that I'm thinking of. Find the one that I'm thinking of. If it's in here. If it's in this collection. If it isn't, I'll have to fucking do something else. Okay. I know I have it. I'm sorry. I know nobody cares really, but now I need to find it. You know what I'm talking about? I feel why can't we do this? This must have been well. This is the one. Yes. Okay, I found it. I found it. Let me give you a little bit of fucking idea here. This is a picture of me. Okay, I was about 6 or 7 years old here, and it would have been 1986. Let me find the picture though that I was talking about. Yeah. Do 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 do. Here's another one. Got the same haircut now. Look at that. Let's see. Man, I took a ton of pictures. Okay, here it is. Yeah, Mr. Petite, California, 1984. I was 4 years old. There it is. Holding my trophy, wearing my little banner. What you think about that, y'all? Yeah, chill out for a minute, Sahar. Well, it was 86, man. The bowl was in, baby. The bowl was in. Quite a handsome young lad, yeah. Seen one pic of you as a kid in rancher clothes. And yeah. My mom, okay, so this used to be pretty common in the 80s and in the early 90s, but parents would take you to these photo studios that would have these little costumes, or you could bring your kid in costume, and then they would set up a little background like a hay bale or a horse or something, right? And you'd be like, here's pictures of my kids as cowboys. Here's pictures of my kids all dressed up. Yeah, I still had it. Yeah, whatever. I'm not gonna bother showing it to you, but I scrolled past it looking for Mr. Petite right now. Paul, what's your Discord? Salt Rackus. I think your mom would be in prison if she thought it. Oh yeah. That's the thing. Is like, I was involved in it, just because like my mom went to somebody else's one. So one of the other moms invited my mom to a pageant, and she brought me with her. And one of the ladies at the pageant was like, "Oh my God, is he in this?" And she was like, "No, you have to enter him. He'd win. He is adorable." And my mom was like, "Okay." So the next one that came up, she put me in a little suit, took me in. I blew doors on it, dude. I won it. And she asked me afterwards, she was like, "Hey, PJ, did you like that over there? Was that fun?" And I was like, "Nah, it was kind of long." And she was like, "Okay, we don't ever have to do that again." And I never did. Yeah, thanks, MJ. If you want to get in Salt Rackus, there's the link. Remember, though, Salt Rackus is a hug box for yours truly, okay? And if you tweak the nose of one of my mods even a little bit, they're going to nuke you. So don't come crying. Just be a fucking normal human being over there, or don't go. There is not an official DFF Discord. There used to be. I used to run it, and it went down in a ball of absolutely epic flames. It was Game of Thrones, and I was the Mad King. You know what I'm talking about? MJ just put a link, bro. I cannot spell it. Do not ask me about it anymore. Hello, baby.
Did you make yourself a cold coffee already?
I did. I grabbed myself a cold brew. Yeah, I was Aerys Targaryen the second, the Mad King, and the DFF Discord moderating staff and membership were, you know, the seven kingdoms or whatever the fuck that rose up. You know, they were, well, actually, it was just fucking Jaime Lannister that killed him. So I guess they were Jaime. They were Jaime and all of the people that scrambled for power in the absence of a king. Yeah, the DFF subreddit finally blew up. Yes, and it did. Epically, retardedly, autistically, it exploded. And interestingly enough, that was the second gigantic Discord that I had presided over the flame out of. So that's why Salt Rackus is the way it is, because that's the only way it works. When you give people, like you give person an inch, they take a mile. So you give them a mile, and you keep it to a mile, and that's why it's not like filled with people. Paul, why are you a drama magnet? Because okay, I will answer this question. I'm a drama magnet because I've literally been doing it since I was 8. I've been stirring up people's negative emotions and laughing about it since I was 8 years old. I used to sit with my friend John in his dad's fucking Ford Ranger, because he was an actual forest ranger. He had a little Ford Ranger with a big CB antenna whip on it, and we would sit in his garage with that whip just hanging out of the garage enough, and we would troll truckers. And I was 8 when I started doing that. I did it from 8 to 13 when I was pulled in to the police office and told that I had to stop because there were pedophiles and weirdos and murderers surrounding this group of men that I was talking to on the CB. So anyway, that's why I'm a drama magnet, because I learned very early on that getting good at like roasting people made you somebody that people could not stop talking about, right? Positively or negatively, right? It's like that CB shit made me realize that showmanship counts. And I started tying it to the wrestling that my granddad had gotten me into when I was young. Granddad was really into like the WWF. He used to take me to the events that would go to the Selland Arena in Fresno. I actually got to see the King of the Ring there one year. And in the 80s too, when wrestling was cool. But anyway, I started making that connection. Like, this is like George the Animal Steel. Everybody goes, boo, but they can't take their eyes off of him. And so when I learned that, it was like I'd found my favorite little pastime hobby. And now I just get paid to do it. Rowdy Roddy. There's a picture of me in there wearing a Hot Rod t-shirt, which was his little, with the Thunderbolt. Loved Rowdy Roddy, loved Ravishing Rick Rude, loved Brutus the Barber Beefcake, loved George the Animal Steel, loved Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Who else was big back then that was real fucking cool? Jake the Snake, obviously. Yeah, man, that age of wrestling was just primo to me. Yeah, Rowdy Roddy was everybody's favorite, dude. He'd stroll out in that fucking Hot Rod t-shirt and a kilt. And he'd put his finger right in the fucking bad guy's face. And sometimes he was the bad guy, you know? Loved him and They Live. Oh, yeah, he's fantastic. Really fantastic performer. really dedicated and really talented, like underrated talent, not just movies, but just in performance and in creating that performance, right? Yeah, just absolutely a stunning dude. But that wrestling really informed my personality and the movies that I watched and the radio I listened to, especially. Listen to all Loveline with Dr. Drew and Adam Carolla back in the 90s when it was an actual show. Listened to a lot of that Stern show started playing on my rock affiliate station on the West Coast sometime in the late 90s, and I started listening to him. And so all of those kinds of things really informed my performance personality. And if you know about all those things, you know the answer to that question that was asked earlier. Like, why are you such fucking drama bait? Well, there you go. I do it to myself. Like, I know how to keep my head down. I just don't. Hell Comes to Frogtown is good. Yeah. Right. True H Wasp. Did you ever see that show Pawn Stars? You think it's unfair how the guy always lowballs the sellers? No, he's a pawn shop. Listen, you know what a pawn shop is about? Do you guys have pawn shops where you're from, Hugs? I don't mean to, like, I just don't know if that sort of thing. I'm sure you have like secondhand shops or something. Yeah, okay. So a pawn shop is about this. You need money now. Not tomorrow, not 6 weeks from now. You need cash in your hand now. You want it now. You've got this thing, right? You got this thing. You think it's worth money. You take it to the pawn shop. The pawn shop is going to take advantage, right, of the idea that you need money now. And so they're going to look at something. They're going to say, ooh, I could probably sell that for $5,000. They're going to go, I'll give you $500 for it. You can go, this is easily worth $5,000. Oh, I'm not going to give you $5,000. I got to make a profit. So why don't you tell me what your bottom is? You say something like $2,000. Not going to happen. Thank you, though. Starts to walk away. Wait. $1,000. $900. $950. $900 even. Best I can do. All right. And you get your $900 bills, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There you go, sir. They take your thing. 2 months, 3 months down the road, they find the right buyer and flip it for $5,000. Right? And that's what you've paid for. You've paid for your percentage of a future sale. Does that make sense? That's why you didn't get $5,000. You got a percentage of the future sale, which is $900. Right. Well, that's pawning. So you can, if you watch Pawn Stars, Hugs, he'll say, do you want to pawn it? You want to sell it? Right? Pawning means you give me a loan. So I give you an item. You tell me how much you think it's worth. All right, that's probably worth $5,000. Okay. I'll give you $2,500. I will keep the item, and you have 2 weeks to pay me the first payment on the principal. Right? That's how it works. And people sometimes run with the money. And if they do, the pawn shop's fine because they've got the $5,000 statue. And if they don't, the pawn shop's fine because they made a vig on the loan. Right? So that's how it works. It is a place where people who are desperate for money and need it quick, for whatever reason, go to take something valuable they may own and exchange it for cash. Such an American transaction. Yeah. You ain't kidding. It's a one-sided transaction, but it serves a function that's obviously necessary, right? People need, sometimes shit happens, you need cash. If you have a structured settlement and need cash now, call J.G. Wentworth, 877 cash now. There's also an organization, like a business model here in America called payday loans. You ever heard of this? Payday loans. This is even worse, in my opinion, than pawning a prized possession. Payday loans are this. You take a pay stub in, last month's pay stub, right? They say, okay, you make about $700 a month or whatever it is, $700 a paycheck. You make $1,500 a paycheck. We'll give you $1,500 right now. Basically, we'll give you your next paycheck right now. But you're going to sign over that paycheck to us. And you're going to pay interest. So that next paycheck plus a couple $100 come back our way. If you don't pay that, right? Well, your paycheck is already gone, right? You're signing that over. But if you don't pay the vigorous debt on it, then whoops, guess what? You're going to collections. Now your fucking credit sucks. Now you can't get a house or a car. So there's always a knife at your throat in this country on the purchaser side of the transaction. Almost always. The only things I can think of where you walk in and as a consumer and you're a big swinging dick, it's like luxury shit, right? And only if you know, right? Like cars, right? If you know how to buy a car, you have leverage in that transaction. If you know how to buy a home, you have leverage in that transaction, right? Yeah. Luxury shit, high-end shit, car shit. You've got a fuck ton of leverage because those companies can't just look pretty. You know what I'm talking about? Companies can't look pretty. They got to be pretty. Those numbers got to come in. They need to actually sell that shit. So if you know what you're doing, you walk in to do a car deal, you're the big swinging dick on campus. They need you. They're desperate for you, especially now. Car dealerships are going under. A lot of car companies are fucking not competing. So you got a lot of like ways to punch up in that transaction. But we're talking about like a gallon of milk, bro. You get fucked. Block of cheese, you get fucked. You know, clothes. Any other of these, necessity type of thing, diapers for your kids, baby bottles, formula, and all that, you get fucked. You got no leverage. You can't walk into Walgreens and go like $32 for a fucking baby bottle thing. You kidding me? I'll give you 15. They go, fuck you. It's $38 plus tax. So get out. Oh yeah. That's why. See, here's the thing, dude. I won't give too much information, but my brother-in-law used to be a car salesman, and so I always consult him when I buy a car. I always call him up and pick his brain, and he tells me the sharkiest shit to do, and it always works. Like the first time I ever bought a car, right? Like bought a brand new car. It was in 2006, and I bought a 2006 Scion XB, the boxy ones. You remember the old boxy ones? Pretty cool. It looked like a tiny little fucking G-Wagon from Temu. And I got a silver one, 5-speed with the audio package in it, right? And I had my brother-in-law, that's what I wanted anyway. I had my brother-in-law go into as I think it's Toyota does Scion. So we went to the Toyota place, looked at the thing, and he kept quiet the whole time. And I was like, man, why'd I bring this fucking guy? Right? I'm doing all the talking. He just like Lurch standing there. My brother-in-law's tall. He's just like Lurch is what I'm thinking, right? And so I walked around. We finally get to the point where I'm like, yeah, I really like the car. Let's talk price. And we go inside, right? And the guy goes, all right, let me flip you up a deal here. And my brother-in-law still standing there silent, right? Just like, and I was like, okay. And then he puts it out, and I go to take it, and my brother-in-law grabs the contract and goes, why didn't you cuddle him? And the dude's, I don't know what that means. I was like, cuddle me? Like snuggle? He's like, why didn't you cuddle him? And I looked at my brother-in-law, and then I looked at the dude that was trying to sell me the car, and the blood drained out of his face. It was like, you in the industry? And my brother-in-law was like, yeah. And he goes, the seller goes, why didn't you tell me that? So cuddling in car terms is to use a buyer's bank instead of your Nissan financing or your Toyota financing department where you get all the cream cheese and you get a worse rate. A lot of people don't even know that's an option when they walk in. They get handed a contract. Oh, Toyota? Sure. Get a better rate with your bank. Why don't you cuddle him? Dude, it fucked that whole transaction up for that guy. I got that car for a song. So I do this shit every time. I learn from him. So now when I'm getting the dog and pony show, I might say like, oh, that's cool. I let them hang themselves, hand me a shit contract, and I go, and then I reveal I know what I'm fucking doing. And then I get a good deal. You can't do that on a gallon of milk and a pack of diapers, crib from fucking IKEA. It costs what it costs. But here's the thing. A lot of them think it's kind of shitty. You let them work up their shit contract, and then you pull your pre-approved. And you go, that's interesting. I got a better idea. Keys? Yeah, there are casinos there are casinos in almost every state, I think, because there are Indian reservations in almost every state. Reservations are not beholden to the gambling laws of the state. They're considered to be semi-sovereign territories. And so, yes, California is dotted with casinos of varying quality and size. I used to live near one called Chancey Resort and Casino. And if you were to go there right now, like if somebody were to kidnap you and take you to Chancey Resort and take you right down on the gambling floor and take the blindfold off of you and ask you, what city are you in? You would be like, Las Vegas. It's a Vegas casino, right? And then there are some that are just kind of shitty roadside casinos, and all varying qualities. But yeah, there's casinos all over Washington State. Like I drive by 10 of them when I go to Seattle from here. It's 8% on a Beamer. Shut up, dude. Not see, but you got to tell them though. You understand? I want to explain a concept that I use all the time with you guys. Okay, and this will get you so much in life if you know how to use it. It is a concept that comes out of the South. It's called country dumb. Have you guys ever heard the concept country dumb? It's exactly what I was just talking about. Where you don't go in aggro, you go in compliant, right? You going like, oh yeah, I don't know much about this, sir. I'm just a dumbass country hick. I don't know much about this financing stuff, sir. This price here looks pretty high, but I don't know, man. I guess that's what they're going for. Well, why don't we sit down and see if we can make it work? Oh, here we go, sir. I got this contract. Got you a pretty good rate, 8.5%. And then you go, pre-approved at my bank, but not for the price of the car. For $6,000 less. We got a deal? Paul, are you Jesus? I will be your father figure, put your little hand in mine. I will be your preacher, teacher, till the end of time. Oof. That song. Paul may not be Jesus, but he is my God. Your own personal Jesus. Someone to hear your prayers, someone who cares. Your own, my personal Jesus. What? Who was it? It was Jim Jones. It said, if you need a Jesus, I'll be your Jesus. If you need a boss, I'll be your boss. If you need a president, I'm your president. If you need a father, I'm your father. You need a brother, I'm your brother. You need a lover, I'm your lover. Right? Boom, 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 boom. Hey, Pranab. You're a grown-ass man, and Mindy's a grown-ass woman. I'm telling you, that documentary will make you fucking sick. Don't watch it if you guys are just chilling and you've got a good vibe going between the two of you, because you listen to me describe it. That's all. Like, I'm not telling you not to. I'm just letting you know, prepare, get a puke pot, because it gets worse and worse and worse. I only got like maybe a quarter of the way through the second episode when I called it. I was like, and I won't touch it again. I can't remember what. Do you remember what it's called? It's called something like The Dark Side of Kidfluencing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it's called. I think it's got like, I think it's called Piper.
It's called something, The Dark Side of Kidfluencing,
Yeah.
but yeah.
If you search Dark Side of Kidfluencing, you'll find it. I'm just telling you, Pranab, take a vibe check between you and Mindy tonight before you sit down to watch that, because ask Amelia, it set me me, both of us off.
Mm-hmm.
We had and it wasn't bad, but it was just, I felt so, I had to, you remember I had to take a fucking shower last night, because I was so disgusted with those women and Netflix for running cover, and the whole industry and the website that I work for and everything else. How disgusting it was. So I'm just telling you, man, like, before you guys hit play on that shit, do a vibe check. If you guys are feeling lovey-dovey and great, and you're a little stoned, she's a little tipsy, whatever, however you guys do, and you don't feel like having your emotions fucked up, and you don't want to be mad because you know you got work coming, don't do it to yourself. You know, do what you want, but just...
I mean, I would recommend the one about that fucking music manager first. If I was going to recommend a Netflix documentary that's even adjacent to it.
You remember what that was called?
That's the question.
Talking about I can't even remember what his name was, the guy that did the Nickelodeon stuff.
No, not the Nickelodeon one. I'm talking about the one where he was managing the boy bands. That one I felt was better.
Well, that one's less fucking... I mean, it's disturbing, but it's less so than that last one was. Yeah. It's not like a big cover job.
Yeah, it's a scammer. It's a scammer story. Scammer stories are fun.
Yeah. As a parent, I want to know what's going on. Well, Quiet on the Set. Okay, yeah, that's what it's called. Quiet on the Set.
That's the Nickelodeon one. What I'm thinking of, Dirty Pop, the boy band scam.
That's a Netflix too.
Yeah.
It's another one. Dirty.
So I would do that first. I would recommend that first.
Maybe.
It's not all fucking weird.
Well, it's not running cover for a bunch of people that are in the documentary. It's about exposing what this guy did that was a boy band manager, and how he found these kids, and how he made them into stars, and what he was doing behind the scenes, and who he worked with, right?
But the focus is on scamming.
Dirty Pop is what it's called? Yeah. So Dirty Pop, and then this other one, the Piper Rockell documentary. So if you search Piper Rockell or The Dark Side of... or just probably Kidfluencing, it'll be the first thing that comes up on Netflix. But yeah, no, as a parent, if you do want to know like how deep the rabbit hole goes on YouTube and how to keep your kids maybe separate from that, it will, if you are at all confused about YouTube Kids, what it is and what it's for, it will disabuse you of your misapprehensions quickly. You will know what you are what you're dealing with after you watch it, and you're gonna feel sick. I know you, Pranav. Like, I know you. I've known you a long time. I know how you are as a man, as a guy, as a father. It's gonna make, dude, I don't even have kids, bro. And it made me sick. Sick, sick, sick. Not just because of the subject matter, bro, because I've heard the awful shit that goes on in this world, right? And I'm kind of numb to it to a certain extent. What made me sick about it was it's a big cover documentary. It's a big documentary where they want to cash in on this thing that happened, but they found themselves a scapegoat and got everybody else that was involved to come in and run cover for themselves and blame this one woman and her daughter,
Yeah.
kind of, who was a child.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Piper was really angry and really, you had to stay in her clique or else you were out. And it's like, Piper was being puppeteered by her mother.
Mm-hmm.
Piper was 12 or 10 when she started.
I think it was just like 8 or
8, yeah. Whatever it was. Fucked. Even younger because her mom was pageanting her.
Yeah.
So it's like, what's it called again? Just go on Netflix and look up Kidfluencer or Piper, and it'll be on there. It's called The Dark Side of Kidfluencing. I didn't even know the word till last night, and I wish I didn't now. I didn't know what a kidfluencer was. I knew there were kids doing this shit, but I didn't know it was that fucking level of shit. It's my son's age right now. Yeah. Yes, sir. And you have another kid coming right up behind that, Pranav, that's going to be even more interested in this shit. Well, I mean, you know what I mean? Their demographic. So yeah, maybe you do want to watch it, but I'm just saying, don't watch it on a night where you don't feel like ranting and raving with your wife. Not at each other, but at the world, at the sickness of it all. Your younger son. Oh, sorry. But this is about,
They go
this
all
is
the
about,
way up to like
yeah,
a teen.
16, 17, 18,
Yeah.
right? This is about Kale's age too, bro.
I'd say the long and short of it is don't put your kids on YouTube and don't be watching kids on YouTube.
Ever. Yep. Don't let them watch YouTube unless it's under your supervision and shit. Like, there are ways you can block YouTube kids completely.
Yeah.
And that'll nuke a lot of this shit that's aimed at them.
Like, it would be better, I would say, to like curate shit and just like download it, like YouTube Premium download and put it online or something.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Oh my god, dude. I'm sorry. Pranav just fucking hit me in the face. His younger son's 8.
Oh.
When I met Pranav, his younger son didn't even exist yet.
Oh.
You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, that's what just will slap me in the face like a wet noodle, bro, how old I am and how many years I've lived. But, anywho, you know how that goes. Parents, can I get ones in the chat? Don't be polling my chat for parents. Is Corey Feldman telling the truth about his claims? I'm not. Listen, I've watched him lay out some of his claims, but he is so detached that it's like you've got to watch he's never sat down and been like, and he never names names, and he's always so vague. It's not that I don't believe him. It's that I wonder if maybe some of it is part of a disassociative problem that he has, because the guy is not all there. Right? And so it's like, where do you draw the line? I'm not trying to be ableist. And I do think that when a victim speaks out, you should listen to what they have to say. But you can't just run to the bank with it.
Yeah.
Right? He refuses to provide any of the names and proof and evidence of any of this. Right? He says he will constantly, but he dangles it. So it starts to feel like a publicity stunt,
Or
mental
some
illness.
Fucking conspiracy he got sucked into.
Right. So I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, the Quiet on Set with Nickelodeon, at least that's name and names.
Yeah. I'm the comeback king. That's the move that Corey Feldman learned, and he does it all the time. He does the shoulder switch. That actually feels kind of good. I need to do that.
Yeah.
I need to start working out like that.
Well, you
I'm the
remember,
comeback king. I can do anything.
remember that cat dude on Shark Tank did it too?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
want to draw a cat for you.
Oh yeah, I want to draw a cat for you. I want to draw a cat for you. I want to draw a cat for you.
We gotta go back to our fucking no consequence Shark Tank.
Yeah, we do. We've been having too much fucking consequence lately.
Yeah.
We did that whole documentary run for the
Yeah.
next Hey Paul, What You Watching? 3 of the 4 docs. It's like, oh, we've been heavy lately.
Yeah.
We need to go back to our zero consequence.
Yeah, we were gonna cancel Hulu, but I think we need to keep it for the fucking Shark Tank.
Mr. Wonderful is my favorite Trumper. Do
Yeah.
you know that? If I had to pick one Trumper in the world
Yeah.
to save, and I had to kill the rest of them, or just hit the button, they all disappear. They get raptured. I save him. I like Mr. Wonderful. He's my favorite Trumper.
Well, he's just so honest about
I
his
know.
intentions.
That's why I like him, because he's filthy, greedy, disgusting, depraved, but he's just like, I am what I am.
Yeah.
I say it, and he's consistent too. He's consistently shitty, right?
He supports Trump because of the money.
Yeah.
You can tell that's why he's
That's what
the
he
bottom line.
No, he just says that.
Yeah.
Listen, the bottom line is, I'm a businessman. I want money. And when I look at these two guys, when Biden was running, these two guys, I see losing money with Biden, and I see making money with Trump. And that's it. All the rest of this is tertiary to me. It's all about the money. But he says it. Some of these people pretend it isn't. Right? And they say, oh, it's about kids. It's about charity. So if those women last night in the documentary, not to bring it back to that, were like Kevin, it wouldn't have been as disgusting, and I would have had less disrespect for them afterwards. If they would have been like, I sold my child for money. I didn't know it was going to get as crazy as it did, maybe, but I knew every step of the way kind of what was going on, and I made the choice. You know why? Money. And I got a toddler, and guess what? As soon as she's 6, I'll do it again. That's what I wanted to hear out of these women, because that's the truth. Hey, he's horrible. He's part of the problem. He is what capitalism is personified into one man. He wears 2 fucking watches that are $100,000 or more a piece every day of his life, everywhere he goes. Rides around in the back of a fucking old imported Bentley, right? The dude he's everything that's disgusting and wrong, but he's one of the few of them that's honest about it. He just says what he is. Says what he wants, says what he cares about. He doesn't pussyfoot. He's the dude on Shark Tank. When somebody comes in, I'll tell you what Mr. Wonderful is for me. This is my favorite time, Mr. Wonderful, right? Somebody will come in and they'll be like, what's his name? Robert.
Oh, yeah, Robert Herjavec.
Yeah, Robert Herjavec will go, this seems like it's a very important thing to you. And the person will go, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's been really hard, because we've been working on Kevin and everything. And at some point during that snivel fest, Mr. Wonderful will go, stop crying. There's no tears in money. Nobody cares about your sad luck story. We're not here for a sad luck story. Tell me why I should buy into your business, why I should give you my money. Otherwise, get out. That's why I like him.
Well, he gets down to the brass tacks, like, how are you going to make me money?
Exactly.
Where's my money?
But he
coming
never,
out of this?
only one time have I seen him doing the drying his eyes.
Well, he's softened up a little bit, like the very more recent seasons, but I still feel like he's ultimately, like, he'll even say it, like, if he does get misty, he's like, I don't do business based on my emotions.
Exactly. He'll pull out of it.
Yeah.
But he will literally shut down these people that are attempting to garner a sympathy buy.
Yeah.
there is no sympathy in money. Money doesn't care. Money doesn't sleep, doesn't eat. All it wants to do is grow. It wants to multiply. It wants to find other dollar bills and become more dollar bills. And I facilitate that.
And he'll do the honest thing too, where he's like, just kill that business idea. It's failing.
Mm-hmm.
Go.
He's usually him and Damon are pretty brutal about that. But he is usually the one that'll go like, this idea is going nowhere. You should walk away. Take it behind the barn, shoot it, bury it deep, and never speak of it again. I'm out. I love him. I love him. He's my favorite scumfuck. I love him. It never excuses it, but the dirtbags that are honest about being dirtbags always get a tiny shred of respect for the honesty. True. And I like them because they're not wolves in sheep's clothing. They're not attempting to put on a costume. They are what they are, and I can identify them from across the room. I like that. I like when I like it when these Nazis come out. I wish they'd make a law that you can't wave Nazi flags in America with a mask on your face. That if you do it, you got to put your name and your face to it. Because I really like when these Nazis come out with their faces out. I like when their pictures get archived. I like when their business gets fucked with. Yeah, I like it all. I like when they get doxed. Yeah. So I like it when they're out about it because I like to know, okay, that guy that lives across, I'm not saying we have any Nazis. We don't. So, hypothetically, that guy lives across the street from me is a Nazi. Okay. Well, I know not to fucking talk to him or deal with him in any fucking way. I can keep him at arm's length. And I don't have to go through the, hey, I'm a nice guy. And then you get to know him, you have a few beers a couple of times, and then he goes, let me show you something. Walks over to a cabinet he's got locked and opens up. It's filled with fucking Nazi plates and Jew teeth. I can't do it. So I'd rather have the dude that, you go, hey, neighbor, I'm Paul. And he goes, hi, Liver, or whatever. Like, okay, I get it.
Didn't you kind of get that in the condo complex you lived in?
I had a fucking... Yeah, I mean, it had nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
And I had already because most of the people that lived in that complex were Hispanic and black, mostly black. Mm-hmm. It was the first time in my life I'd been in a demographically black neighborhood. Mm-hmm. And so early on, and it wasn't just because they were black. It was not a good neighborhood. There was drug dealers and gang members, and I'm not, it was just a bad neighborhood. And so, but I wasn't afraid there. Because I knew that people that are doing whatever it is they were doing, mm-hmm. they don't care who lives next door. Mm-hmm. They care whether or not you're going to be a problem. Mm-hmm. Are you going to be some bitch that calls the cops every time a fucking party's going on across the street? Mm-hmm. Calls the cops if you see me slipping dope. Calls the cops if you see me arguing with my woman. Mm-hmm. And the answer is, unless you're out killing somebody in your yard, or I hear you beating somebody up, and like killing somebody in your home, shooting, I ain't ever the one to pick up the phone, player. And so I lived there for years by the time that this incident happened. So I was known in the neighborhood, not like in a friendly way to everybody, but nobody fucked with me. Nobody fucked with my ex-wife, well, my girlfriend at the time, right? And my friends would come and go, and nobody fucked with them. Our cars never got fucked with, never had a break-in, right? Nothing. So I was chill. Anyway, I came home from work one day, and I saw a U-Haul pulled up, and it was kitty corner to me. It wasn't even really a neighbor. It was just somebody I could see from around if I peeked out into the street, right? Down the street. I noticed when I was coming home, a U-Haul, bunch of big old fucking corn-fed white boys offloading chairs and boxes. And I was like, oh, okay. I didn't really think much of it. Well, one day, it's me and my buddies. We're sitting, my buddies being two guys that lived across the street from me. And two of the only, minority dudes in the neighborhood that I knew of, right? The two dudes from across the street, they were in a band. Mm-hmm. And we met and became friends over that. And then we were video game friends, nerd friends, movie friends, that sort of thing. They were over at my house. We're smoking up a little bit, playing some Dragon Ball Budokai. And all of a sudden I hear commotion in the street. Now, like I said, I'm not nosy, but I want to see what I like to
Yeah.
know how bad things are. And it sound, if it was just fuck you or something, I wouldn't have looked. But it was like, and somebody off in the distance, right? So I was like, all right, I'm gonna fucking go see what's up. Peek out, and the, my neighbor, who I knew, black guy, and I don't want to, yeah, I won't even speak out of turn about him because it was none of my business. But he was a big guy in the neighborhood, and all of his crew that are chill over there, right? That come and go, and they're out in front on his porch and wave to me when I come over, right? All those dudes are posted up in the middle of the street, and so I lean over and I'm looking down the street, and I see these corn-fed white boys that I saw earlier unloading their truck. They're in their fucking wife beaters, and I can't see their tats, but they're tatted up. And I'm pretty sure some of those tats are little iron crosses or little Nazis
You got
shit.
the skinhead vibe.
Yeah, oh, 100%. I kind of got it when they were unloading because they were all
Yeah.
high and tight. But now I'm like, oh, fuck. Right? And these black guys are going, and I looked down and I saw this. And I was like, so I told the guys, I was like, guys, get on your cell phone, peek out this window. If a brawl starts, go ahead and call cops because people are maybe about to be killed over here. And so I walked out. The dude's name is Bobby. I walked out and I stood right next to Bobby, and I looked down there, and those dudes were like, "You're a fucking race traitor," and I was like, "Fuck you. Shut your fucking racist mouths," right? I didn't say anything else after that. Black guys, fuck you, bitch. Fuck. Well, not at me, them, right? Because those were my people, not that. And so I only went out there not to start shit with those neighbors, but to let the dudes that had the BSD, the big swinging dick, the fucking guys that ran the neighborhood, know that ain't me. Those aren't my cousins. Those ain't my people over there. You're my people. That's all I had to do. Those fucking white guys backed down because there was way fucking more black guys. It was 4 dudes.
And you're a big white dude too.
I was. Yeah. I'm not in. I don't think I'm fat. I'm not in.
But you're tall.
But I'm like,
you're broad.
and I was
yeah.
posted up with a bunch of fucking street dudes. And they never said a thing to me about that because it was implicit. They knew what I meant. They knew why I went and stood right next to Bob and said, "What's up?" It didn't come to that because 4 guys are not going to rush 18 black dudes and a big corn fed. So I knew it was all going to be chatter, but I wanted them to. I didn't want man, maybe they're that white boy's cousin. I didn't want none of that. So that's how you live in places like that and don't get fucked with. But you don't have to do dirt either. I worked at Starbucks at the time. That's how I made my living. That was it. Wasn't slinging weed. If I had started slinging weed, I'd have problems. Because, like I said, not speaking out of turn, but just letting you know. There'd have been a problem with me. It's not me. Anywho.
But yeah, it just reminded me of that story when you talked about like open Nazis.
Yeah.
You knew where it stood with those neighbors.
Well, I mean, they have a look.
Yeah.
Docker pants, Dickie boots.
Well, they're not trying to. They're trying to represent.
Yeah. They got the military style Dockers with the Dickie black boots, waffle stompers we called them. They got the wife beater T-shirts. They're tatted up here. They're tatted up here. Skinny, high and tight. Yeah. So I don't judge every dude that looks like that from a distance, but it gives.
Yeah.
As the kids would say, it gives Nazi.
Yeah.
And then as soon as I heard some of the shit they were yelling at the black guys and saw that little hoodily hoo, I knew what we were dealing with.
Elon would look goofy as fuck if he went all the way skinhead. He'd look retarded.
Yeah. He would. No, he would.
It'd be honest, but
It would be.
retarded.
God, he would look like such. Well, he already is such a fucking dork. So it's just like, yeah, it would not help. He would be all because his head. Like if you look at Elon when he was actually bald on top, it's lumpy up there, bro. He's got a weird, misshapen, lumpy head.
And his body's all weird and misshapen,
Yeah.
so it'd look hella weird in a wife beater.
Yeah, he's got Cybertruck body. What'd you book? Hey, those were respectable men that go to synagogue every Saturday and read the Torah. Yeah. Understood. But what do they call that? Street smarts? Is that what they call it?
Yeah.
It's not. You don't learn that sort of thing in school. You learn it by just being a normal human being and
Well,
being.
you do learn it in school, but indirectly.
Like
through
how?
Your social interactions with other kids and stuff.
Yeah, but a lot of kids don't learn it right in school. They learn the opposite in school, to be a tale and to fucking tell everybody
I
about
don't know. I
this.
feel like the underarching pressure is to not do that.
Sure, but
amongst
there are a
kids.
lot of fucking tittle-tattles that go
Yeah.
on amongst kids, right? It's kind of an adult idea
Yeah.
that you don't, because like you want kids to point out wrongdoing
Yeah.
to a certain extent.
Mhm.
Not like you're watching every little thing, because that becomes,
Yeah.
it's cry bullying.
Mhm.
But yet you want kids, if they see something, to tell their parents or tell their principal, right? You don't want to discourage that. But as an adult, your social world becomes way more complex. And you're going to meet people in your life that have done shit, right? And maybe are still doing that shit. And it's up to you to decide, like, is this motherfucker dangerous to me? Should I keep this motherfucker close or at a distance? Do I want to involve myself with this person's shit? Like, do I want to use this guy as a dealer? Or do I want to just be cordial with this man? Right? And you will make those decisions. You'll figure out what was right and what was wrong. And then you get a certain age and you've upped your IQ. Now you know. You can smell the wind. He looks retarded now. Yeah, he does. You're right. But like, think of him just bald, shirtless. I don't know how the fuck I got mistaken for white. I don't know how the fuck you did either, Pranab. No fucking hate intended, bro, but you're about as Indian as they come, dude. Did you see me do the... I want to learn the... Do you know the song, Pranab? You're going to hate me for this, bro. All right, forgive me. Give me the pass for 1 second. Do you know the song, the... Bumpa dumpa 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 dumpa, and the guy goes, "No hasta dumpa 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 gracia dumbri dumpa." That song, dude, I want to learn the lyrics to that song. I want to learn that fucking song, bro. It's called Standard Indian Bollywood. Yeah, dude. I want to be able to go like, you know, I have to do it because I'm in fucking portrait mode, but like, you know. You know, I want to be able to do that. But actually be singing the thing. The light bulb dance move. Well, they do this a lot. Right?
Dude, it was funny how like out of touch we were. Like we watched one Bollywood movie that we really hadn't even dove into before, and we're like, why are they switching in and out of English so much? And then we realized like that's just how India is.
That's
now.
that's why they call it Bollywood.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's so heavily influenced by the American film culture that, and that's true in China too.
Yeah.
Like they call it Changlish, Spanglish,
But I mean, like in India, even outside of that, there's a lot of like kind of
English.
Making a weird kind of Creole almost.
Yeah, patois almost. Yeah.
It's interesting.
It is super interesting. Yeah.
'Cause
Oh,
you
see,
kind of probably got that with like Spanish too. There was probably some Spanglish going on when you were a kid.
yeah. Dude, I wish I could have best manned for Pranav
Yeah.
because I would have got to do I would have got to do the garb, you know?
Yeah.
And I would have got to do some dancing too. I
Yeah.
guarantee it, bro. I just, wasn't at a point in my life where I could make it to Pranav's fucking wedding. What am I supposed to say? Or maybe I didn't even know Pranav before he was married. I don't know. I think that's the case. Either way, I wish I was at Pranav's wedding because it looks fucking awesome. He sent me a wedding picture. Here, I'll show it to you. I'm not gonna show it to them.
Yeah.
I'll show you. But
I think you'd already showed me.
did I?
Yeah.
Okay.
You did.
All right. I've seen Robot. Oh wait, I've seen a movie called Robot, but it wasn't Bollywood, so I will try it. It's on YouTube. I'll try it. I like a Bollywood once in a while, but also I'm kind of confused by a Bollywood. A little bit. But we'll try it. That movie we had to stop. The Bollywood we tried to watch
Yeah.
because it was too Bali and not enough wood, I think.
Yeah.
But it was interesting though, the
Yeah.
way that they were like, I don't want to do a bad Indian thing, but like, don't stop a digger to be American and fuck you, and I will take your money and I bet you you know what I mean? You're like, okay, right. Yeah, we were just confused, I think. I loved the madness of it.
Mhm.
But I was kind of,
Just having a hard time following.
yeah,
it.
because I was reading the subtitles and then all of a sudden they're talking American and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, and that'll go on for like 30 seconds and then it's like, it's right back to it and I'm like, oh fuck.
Yeah. I'm not.
Oh shit, hold up. Okay, cool. All right, just goat versus fish. Says he'll be here by 12:45.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah, I'll play it by ear, and I have quite a few joints, so I'll pass them around to whoever wants them, and then if I start running low, I'll just see if he wants to go to the shop with me real quick, and I'll pick up some more. I don't think it'll get that far probably. And then yeah, we're gonna order some food. So yeah, should be just chill. I just wanted to chill back here. It's gonna be kind of fun for me. I don't even know if I
I
want.
don't know. Do you want to stream this?
Well, I asked him,
Oh, yeah.
and he said he was totally down to stream
Yeah.
if I wanted to. But I'm kind of interested in just sitting back here with him, smoking a little bit, because every time I've gotten to meet him, he was in character. The one time he was out, it was the very end of the Mint meetup, and I've got Tuesdays. I'm a popular guy today. What can I say? No, this is good though. One of the greatest things that I did this week is, like, you guys know, those of you that watch our show, we have a 4 to 5 weeks on, 1 week off schedule, and we've been staggering it that way. Sometimes it's 3 because
Sometimes it's 3,
months.
sometimes it's 5.
So yeah, it's between 3 and 5 on because months are wibbly and don't have the same amount of days. 3 to 5 on, depending on the time of year, and 1 off. And my weeks off, when in the past couple of years, when I've just been doing pretty much just DFF content, right? DFF the show and its subsidiary stuff for the Patreon. That's all I do, right? And this, right? My ideologies. So that is when I have weeks off in the past, right? I use it as a recharge. I feel recharged this week, but I've also made some really, really great stuff. Like I've got 16 or 17 pages of what I told Amelia last night, honestly and truly, I think is the best scripting I've ever done in my life. And I've done a lot of scripting. And so I feel like this week, getting that much hard, introspective, creative work done and finding the time while I'm doing that to network to the point where I got the chance to meet and talk to a guy whose video games I've been playing since I was a teen, David Jaffe. And yeah, I mean, that is, and now I get to meet another content creator slash friend of my show slash just friend, right? And I actually get to sit down with him and talk to him. So it's like networking plus tons of creative work that needed to get done. It moved so far forward, right? This dream of this video that I have, where it's just nebulous now, but you know what I mean. And so, I just wanted to let you guys. It feels good to be back in the game. That's all I wanted to say. Just a little bit. I'm not a big fucking self promoter. That's part of my problem, right? But it is cool to meet other people that do what you do, network a little bit, cross promote a little bit. Whatever happens, happens. I don't care if me and goat versus fish just sit here all day and fucking smoke weed and talk. That's chill. That when you approach it that way, I think you got the right mindset as a content dude. Maybe. You still got it, Paul. Got the Twilight Saga episode done. Well, the script, and it's not done just yet, but I got 95% of the script done, easily.
For your first pass, at least.
Well, yeah. Before the first polish, Amelia and I are going to storyboard our locational. So that's the next thing, and then we're going to plan out our dates. We've already got like a soft date for location. But once we get there, we'll solidify our dates and we'll make sure we've tested our new equipment.
And we had to get the new equipment too.
Well, yeah, some of it. And all of that. So yeah, we're on the path, We found that equipment. Mm-hmm. What do we need to buy to get this done? Mm-hmm. We've got the list. Mm-hmm. So it's just a matter of buying it slowly so I don't fucking go broke making a video. And then hopefully the video does as well as I feel it will. But if it doesn't, I will not be discouraged. I've been a YouTuber for a long time, and I put a lot of effort into things that just went. I'm trying to remember the first time that happened to me. It was the first, I can't remember. Oh, you know what it was? And this wasn't, well, yeah, I mean, it went. TJ and I started, it was the early days of conceptualizing what eventually would become Cinema for Cynics. And TJ had this idea. We will record a movie review with me and you, and we will record ourselves ripping on the movie live, our first time watching it, and then we'll sit down and we will script out our review, and we will put it up, not on YouTube, not on Patreon, we'll put it up on the Clips for Sale or some shit, I can't remember what it was called, and we'll charge people $8 or $9 a pop if they want to view it. And I was like, that sounds good. And he was honestly like, the whole idea wasn't really for him. Mm-hmm. He was trying to find me a little secondary income because, like I told you the other day, I was making about what I was paying in rent. Mm-hmm. And I was floating on my girlfriend's Jamba Juice salary, which was fine. We were making it, but it doesn't let you pay much taxes and it doesn't give you any savings or cushion at all, right? So he was trying to make me a few $1,000s that maybe I could put away. Mm-hmm. And it did, but that first one, for whatever reason, the company that, by the way, I will never work with ever again, Vimeo, mm-hmm. which is where we decided to host it and sell it at, pulled our funding. So we made a fuck ton of money. And Vimeo decided, oh, wait, there's too much of the Ghostbusters movie. And there was not.
They just didn't want to pay out, so they
And it was the new
rescanned it.
Ghostbusters one with
Yeah.
all the chicks,
Yeah.
the recast. And so they wanted the money, basically. They saw that these guys sold 2,000 of these at $9 a pop, or it wasn't that much, but it was like 700 of these at $9 a pop. And it was going to be coming my way, $2-3 grand. And I needed that money. And Vimeo just went, copyright, no, we're keeping it. They didn't distribute it to the copyright holder or anything. No copyright holder was even aware of it. Vimeo just went, violation, we're not paying you. And I think, obviously TJ's setting it all up. We're doing it on his equipment. He was making the lion's share. And I think it was like 10K we had. And we were like, hey, where's the payout? They were like, we can't give you the payout.
Yeah. Vimeo just loves to go back on it.
Yeah, oh yeah. They fucked us 2 or 3 times, and I will never touch that company again. I don't care if they become the next biggest thing. That company is brutal.
Well, they just decided to make money in the scummiest way possible. They couldn't replicate the money-making ways that YouTube has. So they just have to do it scummy ways.
Yeah. I'm interested in the locational aspect. Only other movie review I can recall doing that is Nostalgia Critic reviewed Blues Brothers. He lived in Chicago, though. Well, that's kind of why I'm doing the locational I'm doing. I live near Forks, Washington. So it's like some of the locational that I'll be doing will be shot there in Forks. At some of the Twilight shit. And maybe try and find some of the places, right? So, yeah. But if this does well, if this video does as well as I think it has the potential to do, as it shapes up in my mind and on paper, maybe if I do another big franchise that happens to feature a big city as its backdrop and kind of a character augmenter, maybe we go and shoot a little doc there. Because ultimately, business side of things, right? It's a tax write-off if I make a video and I travel to make the video. All this equipment that Amelia and I are going to buy, not tons, but like stuff to shoot out here, lavalier mics, a stabilizer, little things like that, right? All that stuff is a tax write-off for us because we're not buying it for pleasure. It's not like a frivolous spend or a conspicuous consumption spend. This is our business and we need this to do our job spend. So, you get a tax write-off for that sort of thing. Twitch is collapsing. Is this true? I have no fucking clue, player. I watched Twitch a couple years ago. I was kind of like, I would chill, smoke weed, play games, and put a Twitch guy on that was kind of chill. I haven't even hit the fucking app on my phone in probably a year. I don't even look at Twitch, bro. So maybe it is. Maybe that's a sign that it's collapsing, yes.
Well, I maybe they're referencing maybe they think that Twitch is gonna crack down and then everyone will leave, like on the React streamers that are getting sued and stuff.
It's more than that, though. It's a deeper thing than that because Twitch has kind of shot itself in the foot, right? Because it set it tried to do that. Well, maybe not tried, but it set these very strict content rules about language and country of origin reference and all of this stuff, right? How you have to label your stream if you're going to do it that way, how you can talk, what kind of shit you can say, how very slightly edgy you're allowed to be, right? All that stuff, they put it out concrete. And then they've got all these creators on the platform that violate it constantly, but they make millions of dollars for the company. So those creators constantly get away with it. Guys like Asmongold get to say fucking stupid shit, and they walk away with a, right? Two-week ban at best. Maybe 2-day ban is what they usually give. Hassan will do the same shit. He'll get a little too, alhamdulillah, praising fucking terrorist shit. He'll get a 2-day ban, and then he's right back because there's too many millions flowing in. So they're hypocrites. And I think the community has started to realize it. It's like, can we talk about shit that's actually going on without worrying about everybody's fee-fees, or can we not?
Because yeah, YouTube generally, like they'll have the community guideline strikes, but they're more apt to just demonetize your video, which still lets you communicate it.
Right. Right. And I have found a way to monetize doing that outside of YouTube almost
Yeah.
entirely. I don't make much from, like, YouTube is completely eclipsed, even with donos,
Yeah.
by our crowd-funded content. So that's what we did with this show that was revolutionary. We gave up on the idea, like, hey, if it stays monetized, great. But hey, if it gets dinged, we're not, well, it stays up. We won't violate copyright. We won't hate speech. Why do we love weed so much? I don't want to get into it again. I talked about this yesterday. We have an endocannabinoid system. It makes us feel good when our body creates endocannabinoids. And when you inhale an exocannabinoid, like weed, it feels really good. That's the short of it. Have you ever watched on Rumble? And is it true that the platform has a freedom of speech? I have not, and no. That platform is a haven for right-wing guys. So it has freedom of speech if you're kind of Nazi adjacent or a Trumper or a white nationalist, and you don't want to get dinged for saying the N-word, or you don't want to get dinged for race baiting, or you don't want to get dinged for talking about the Jewish problem or whatever, alluding to Nazi shit, right? That's where you go. You go to Rumble. It's one of the places that you can go and get away with that. But if you're a lefty that wants to argue with those people and point out how wrong it is, you will be banned. So that's how Rumble works. Rumble is a hug box for conservatives and racists. Yep, that is true. Natural medicine grown from the ground. I'm a grower myself. Yep. That's why, I mean, like, look, dude, I'm never a pusher. I never force anybody. My wife doesn't like weed. She doesn't smoke weed. It's never an issue. It was never an issue in our relationship because I don't care one way or the other if a person does a drug with me. I like doing certain drugs. I like doing mushrooms. I like doing LSD every once in a while when I can get my hands on it. And I really like doing weed. Weed helps me, balances me out, mellows me out a little bit, frees up my mental process, helps me with physical pain, and it does all that with a nice mellow hello, you know? So that's why I do it. Your thoughts on Russell Brand? Diddler and a grifter. Next. Got my budget one-person hookah recently, so I can really go couch lock. Nice, Johnny. Nice, dude. Johnny, if I had more bros to smoke with, or sisters to smoke with, I would want to get a hookah because I when I was a teenager, my friend Morgan, who was also a singer in our Apple Nasty band and one of the single most talented individual I ever met in my life. Dude was a legit quadruple threat, which is so rare when it comes to talent. He was a singer, songwriter, writer, actor, performer. I mean, he was so beyond talented, and he was one of those dudes you wanted to kill him, right? And I'll tell you this: he was little. I mean, like, he was a short guy. He was like 5'4", 5'5", I think. At max, he might even be shorter than that. He was a little dude, skinny, not bad looking. Kind of looked like mini Kurt Cobain. And he got every chick. He was the nicest dude, never backbit you. Just always had, if you didn't have weed, he'd fucking let you smoke a joint with them. Just the chillest guy. And he's like a quadruple, octuple talent. I loved acting. He was better. I loved music. He was better. I loved singing. He was better. Right? And I wasn't jealous of him. I was in awe of him. Because I was like, how does somebody like that have no fucking ego and just be this guy, right? I love Morgan. He's one of my favorite people, but goddamn. One of those people that I'm not trying to shit on him. I look at what because he just works a normal job and has a normal life. He's got a wife. You think he might have a kid, and it's like I look at him, and he's the only person I've ever met in my life where I was like, someday I'm gonna hear this dude's a fucking ultra mega star, because it's just
You feel like a little twinge of like he wasn't reaching the potential that you thought he was going to.
I don't do that with people's lives. His potential is his own to express, and I have a feeling that Morgan still plays music and still enjoys it. And if that's what it was about for him, then he's a success in my eyes, right? So I don't look at it that way. But yeah, if I was like a shark or a manager guy, I would be like, fuck, this guy could have been a fucking multimillionaire. Rock star, actor, double threat, fucking, he could have done the fucking Broadway route. The only person I've ever met, well, the second person I've ever met in my life, Audra McDonald was another one of them. And she actually did it. You know what I mean? So, yeah, Audra McDonald went to my school. And I got to meet her at a play later. She was behind me to the point where I wasn't in school at the same time as her. But I got to meet her at one of the shows she was in while she was at my school, when she was still a high school student. And so, yeah, she went on to do amazing, amazing things. She's been in Sweeney and everything, man. Rent and all of it. And I really thought Morgan was going to be that guy. I thought more, but anyway, I don't know why I brought up Morgan now. I just got too deep talking about Morgan, because I do love that guy though. I miss him.
You're talking about hookahs.
Hookahs.
That's how you got.
Thank you, baby. See, that's what I'm talking about. Morgan's dad was like the weed MacGyver. All right, Morgan's dad had all these homemade, because like the 90s were not a time where it was super easy to get these intricate weird pipe things. So he had all these homemade pipes. He had this thing called the revolver, made out of a mason jar, had a bubbler in it, right? So a little stem that went down, cork, right? And it had this thing on the top, and it was 8 bowls in a circle. And you would pack all of them full, and you would rotate them over the hole. And the trick was clear the revolver in one rip, and nobody could do it but his dad, right? One of the things his dad made for Morgan, because we were a bunch of teenagers and we were such stoners, he made him this like pseudo hookah. Took this like ceramic vase that had a coating on, like a food grade coating on the inside of it, filled it with water, did the whole water pipe thing, drilled holes in it like with a Dremel, right, and then put tubing in there and sealed it with wax, and created this thing, and then put a bowl on top where you could load it up with a fat bowl of weed, and you'd go, all right guys, you ready? Everybody put the tube in their mouth, and you'd light it, and everybody, and you just watch it go down under that water. You hear it go, and then you'd see it coming down your pipe. And so we would just sit there, and once you got it going, all you had to do was just keep adding nugs, right? You didn't even have to break up the weed because it was so hot. You would just throw a nug in, and then everybody just do it at their own leisure. We used to get so stoned on that thing. And it was cheap, too. You think you'd use up a lot of weed, but you're talking about 4 dudes sitting around. It was actually cheaper than rolling up a joint, because all that smoke is going right. Do I want a biscotti? A biscotti? Scotty biscotti? No, I don't want a biscotti. Thank you. Thank you for offering, though. Very kind of you to think of me, but no. I don't need a biscotti, Scotty. A Scotty, Mr. Scotty biscotti. I feel a tick in my head, and he's sucking on my head. Any moment I'll be dead if he doesn't leave my head. Thoughts on Jesse Ventura? I like him. I wish I could do a Jesse. I live in Mexico now. It's bad. I sound like an Indian chief. I live in Mexico. And that's the thing about Mexico. Yeah, see, it's bad. I can't do a Jesse, but I like him. I like him a lot. I'd probably vote for him, but, I don't think it's happening, bro. Jesse's pretty old. Nobody respects him in the mainstream. I live down in Mexico. I don't know how to do it, bro. I've tried to lab it because it would be such a funny one to do, but I just can't quite figure out how not to make it sound like an Indian chief. What'd you do if you became governor of California, Paul? I would secede from the nation. No joke. I'd probably be arrested by the federal government and tried for treason. Because I'd be like, California, the rest of this dying nation we used to call the United States is not only dying, but they're using the blood and sweat and creativity and tears of California to sustain their corpse. And it is time that we cut off the life support system and leave them to their own demise. That's what I would do. It's only civil war if the savages that we're separating ourselves from act like the savages we know they are. We want peaceful secession. We're going to close up the borders. We're going to militarize Donner Pass. And we're going to use our fucking state guard, and we're going to appropriate all the federal stuff that's here in California. And anybody wants to fuck around and find out, we're ready. Red Dead Redemption 1 is one of the maybe 4 games maybe that I've 100%ed in my life. Another one is ZZZZZ. And that was a tough one to 100% because that had some challenges in it. 100%ed that game, 100%ed Red Dead Redemption on the PlayStation. I can't remember. There was one, Sleeping Dogs. You remember that game? Really good game. Nobody talks about it anymore. Kind of like GTA ripoff with a kung fu twist. And I 100%ed that game. I played that game like a fucking job during a depressive episode. I would work all day, think about Sleeping Dogs, come home immediately, just like I would sit down. I would want to play Sleeping Dogs so bad I wouldn't even change out of my shitty work clothes. I'd sit down and I'd play Sleeping Dogs until my wife came home, and I would pretend to be engaged, and then I would go back and play Sleeping Dogs. But yeah, I think those are the only games I've ever 100%ed. I mean, before they started tracking that shit, I definitely 100%ed Mario Brothers, unless some speedrun challenge that is unattainable to me would be in there. I 100%ed Metroid. I 100%ed the first Legend of Zelda, and A Link to the Past. I 100%ed Final Fantasy 3. 100%ed a bunch of games if you count that, right? Road Rash. Played that game until there was nothing left to do in it, right? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. What is something women will never understand about being men and vice versa? I don't know. I hesitate to use the word never. You know me and the word never. I don't like it. I listen to Henri the Pigeon. Henri, you said never. Ah, so I did. Never say never, whatever you do. Never say never, my friend. If you believe that your dreams will come true, they'll come true in the end. Pick up your kula, don't ever despair. Take heart and then count to 10. Hope for the best, work for the rest, and never say never again. But one of the things that I think goes past men and women, we talk past each other sometimes. I think we can understand each other. I just think a lot of men and women talk past each other. Is what is a woman looking for versus what is a man looking for in a heterosexual partner, right? What are they looking for? Like biologically speaking, what is that couple looking for in each other? And men are looking for physical attributes, signs that the woman is healthy and will make good babies, strong, healthy babies, big boobs, big fat ass, because that means she's going to make a lot of milk. That means she's going to make a strong baby, right? Women are looking at non-physical attributes first. They're looking at, does this guy got a job? Right? Because women take a huge risk that men don't take biologically. A man can pump and dump. A woman is stuck with that child, right? So a woman's not necessarily looking first at your physical attributes. A woman is looking at your stability. Can you provide? Can you protect? Are you going to cut and run when shit gets hard? I know it's irrelevant, but you get my drift, Danny, right? Like men are looking and they see it, they go fertility. Big milk-laden breasts, fertility, fertility, fertility. You get what I'm saying? I'm just talking at the base biology. I won't talk about lesbians because I'm not one, right? I am a human male. I have human male biological urges and drives, right? So I can speak to that. I'm not a female lesbian, so I don't get it. I can't speak to it. The only reason I spoke to what females want in men is because I've talked to women, right? And I'm repeating what they say every time, right? That's why ancient fertility statues almost always have. You've seen the one, Danny? They call it the Venus of Le Mans or whatever it is, where it was found in France, and it's headless, armless, and legless. It's just a torso, big titties, round belly, big fat ass, thighs, thick thighs. Yeah, the BBW, yeah. And that's found, by the way, all over the Stone Age world in the pre-pottery Neolithic. That symbol of that kind of symbol is found in all kinds of places all over the Middle East, the Levant, the Mediterranean, Egypt, Europe, all the way up to Scandinavia and shit. If you had fat, it meant you were well fed and rich and fertile, perhaps? Sure, yeah. No, it means that you were a good candidate to raise a healthy, strong infant to adulthood, right? And then your bloodline goes on. That is the biological drive. That's why everybody in the world makes kids, no matter what excuse they make for it. They're adding complexity on top of a biological urge to pass your seed along or to pass your knowledge along. It's not even really about your seed. It's about the urge to raise up something from yourself. It's a faceless, armless, legless BBW. It's just basically tits, belly, and ass, and vagina. I have heard about that tribe in Africa that they do this thing where they send a man off to live on his own. And all he does is eat, right? They send him food. And then when he comes back, he's got a big belly and he's big and fat. And the whole village has a celebration. All the women worship him. All the ladies are like, oh my God. Oh. It's like, I got to go to this culture, man. I got to go visit this tribe, man. I'm going to be a fucking star over there, bro. I'm fat. I'm real fat. Are we apes? Yeah. Yeah, we're all apes. Congratulations. Congratulations, you a monkey. No, we all are apes, yes. I'd be the belle of the ball. Yeah, I know, right? I'm almost 30 and I feel like I lack that urge to produce children. I like sex, but hey, no, that's fine. I'm not saying, like, you understand, I was talking about humanity as an aggregate and humanity as an animal, right? Of course, there's going to be massive deviation within there. People are going to want different things. But as a whole, the reason humanity keeps growing, maybe it's starting to shrink a little bit, but the reason it's grown to the level it is, right, is because people have that biological urge to procreate, right? That's the reason we're here, if at all, right? That's the reason the birds are tweeting right now. That's the reason the chickens are grousing. That's the reason that spider made his web right there, right? All of that stuff is to pass their genes along to the next generation, to perpetuate their species. And there is a deep-seated biological urge in every animal species, including mankind, to pass those genes along. How that expresses itself behaviorally, especially in humans, is incredibly, incredibly deep-seated and complex. That's why you see such an incredible diversity of sexual fetish amongst human beings, right? Where with, other animals, you might see homosexual acts or acts that are, nominally homosexual just based on the base urge for orgasm, right? But you don't see this massive expression of a dog dressing up like a human and being a non-furry, or getting off to cartoons, or all of that type of stuff, or getting off to balloons, or wearing leather, right? Dogs, animals, they don't have the capacity. So that's why human beings have developed this incredibly strong, complex relationship with sex. But if you boil away all the psychological bullshit down to the lizard brain, it's all about, like, me put baby in belly, you look like good mate, put baby in my belly. That's it, right? The ritual is different. As someone who's clearly had that drive, it's hard to explain when you're looking at it logically. That's why I'm saying it is beneath logic. Does that make sense, Danny? It's beneath logic. It comes from that lizard brain that the rest of all of this psychological complexity is built out of, right? So it's so base that it's not something like, you feel the urge to have sex, but you're not necessarily, right, thinking about it reasonably. Does that make sense? Yeah, okay. You can't put reason to it because it's something that it's pre-structurally to reason, right? Reason came after sex, way after, right? So reason is something that we still kind of struggle with as humans. It's new to us and compared to sex on the tree of life, right? Sex is the oldest drive, all the way back to the single-celled organism that is theorized, right? It doesn't get older than that. Our first ancestor wanted to fuck, and everyone since has wanted to fuck, and the ones that didn't disappeared off the planet, right? How many billion will we be in 10 years? How many billion? The planet seems to be going through an adjustment, right? A lot of Western countries and a lot of Eastern countries too are seeing a massive kind of shift in population demographics. They're aging, right? The society's aging. The average person is getting older. That means younger people aren't breeding, right? And so a lot of people are freaking out about this. But I think, and I may be wrong, demographically speaking, that those shortfalls are being outstripped in other countries and other continents, right? Africa, the Middle East, the Mediterranean, some parts of India are booming, 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 booming. Pakistan, Uzbekistan, all these places are like having the opposite, right? Baby boom, 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 right? Because all of these places are starting to get access to these Western markets. And so they're developing. So I would say in 10 years, we're sitting around 8 billion now. I'd say in 10 years, it'll be 10 billion. That's my guess. If that demographic trend holds. and there's not some big correcting event like an asteroid or a disease or something, right? But I did right by myself though, and I've always had an easier time with that liquor,
Yeah.
clear liquors.
Yeah. You still got them going out here, huh? We left them for a bit.
Fuck them, looky loos. No, I'm kidding. No, I had to go inside. This is what I was talking about though. You remember when I was talking earlier, baby, about like how dynamic this week off has been?
Yeah.
It's been punctuated by meetings between you and I creatively. And we just had to have one real quick. You brought something up, it made me think about something, and we had to hash it out. And that's so dynamic and cool. is, you know, the thing that I think you and I'll have to look out for is that we keep our marriage and our business together, right? We don't, you know, but right
We
now,
don't want every conversation to be
no,
business between us,
but right
basically.
now,
Yeah.
it's not.
Yeah.
So that balance is, I feel, healthy.
Yeah.
So, like last night, me and you talked for like an hour ranting about that fucked up show. I don't want to think about that show. I had nothing to do with content. I'm not going to be able to do anything about that. YouTube ain't the place. It's because YouTube is the, you know, one of the biggest villains in the story. It's like, ugh, I hate this place so much. Talked about botting too. It just basically implicitly admits what we all know, which is like that YouTube is completely aware of these bots and can identify them, but
Yeah, they
doesn't.
don't pay out for bot
Yeah.
views,
So
but they
that's
still let it influence the algorithm.
right. Yeah. They still let it be algorithmically relevant so that
Yeah.
you get more real views than you should. So it's like a fakery thing that they allow and know about, and they have a system by which they can catch most of them, and they
And
don't.
I feel like they probably charge advertisers for those bot views, even if they end up not paying them out to the creator.
Hmm.
I bet they're double dipping.
I think that the big creators, the Mr. Beasts, I think they're getting paid for some of them bots.
Yeah.
I think they're, well, maybe not for the bots, but they're getting more money
Yeah.
than your million subscriber guys are. Oh, they're getting the red carpet too.
Yeah.
But your Mr. Beast, your top end guys, they're getting the sweet cream. And, you know, you might not be able to tie dollars directly to those bot views, but it's all coming from the same pot, ain't it? They're botting just as hard, if not harder, than everybody else in the space, and they're getting paid more. So how do you argue that the bots don't equal money? Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's very strange how they basically encourage it. They're like, we're fine with bots.
Yeah.
We don't care about bots.
Yep. How'd your partner get so good at editing so fast? Remember, because you mentioned she surprised you with skills in last stream.
I did about a year of editing on iMovie in high school. So I wasn't starting from zero.
No.
And Final Cut is what I'm using now to edit. You know, it's supposed to work kind of similar to iMovie.
Well, it's a grandfather of iMovie.
Yeah.
It's iMovie exploded out to
Yeah.
a professional movie making tool.
Yeah.
So a lot of the basic concepts carry over, and that gave you a leg up because you didn't have to learn the whole format of what ultimately is a really deep, complex system that can be overwhelming. So that gave you a leg up. But even with that leg up, knowing, because I knew you did that editing back in high school, I knew you were gonna be good at editing. But I don't know if have you looked at the comments of the last Hey Paul, what you watching?
Yeah.
Nobody said anything about the edit, but everybody's saying this is the best shit. There was a couple of people, this is the best shit on Pessimist Production. Please keep doing this, right? That they weren't talking about it like that 3 episodes ago. It was like, oh, this is cool. I'd kind of like to see it going, right? And your edits, if you go and watch, Hey Paul, what you watching? Your first edit, rudimentary as fuck because you were just finished figuring the tool. Second edit, a little more visual interest. Third edit, shot better, framed better, way better transitionally. Fourth edit, I'd put that up on Cinema for Cynics as a main channel video. And I was not expecting that, right? I was expecting, but you remember, I told them yesterday, but now that we're into it, that fourth edit, the one that just came out, was supposed to be, I don't mean to use the term derogatorily, that was the babysitter edit. You were going to do the rough chop, get all the ums and uhs and pauses out, and then I was going to sit down with you and we were going to go do this, do this, do that, just so we could see how we work together. You worked on it, got the rough done, had instincts to do this, that, and the other thing, and then said, hey, Paul, come see what I got done. And I was flabbergasted because I was just like, that's what I would have done. or I wouldn't have thought of that. You were better than me already, is what I'm saying. Like, you had, not only had you got the instinct, but you were better than, because you were coming up with shit that I wouldn't have even thought of to do. So I was like, how do I tell her to do this, that, or the other? What's the point at this point? So instead, we just went like through it one section at a time. You would do a movie, I'd look at it.
You maybe suggest one
we
little
made,
tweak.
yeah, because I was
like-
trying to fucking nitpick though. And but like that's how it went. You went through, you did the whole video yourself basically. I changed one or two little things just to see how we work together. And the video is the best one you've done by double. So it's like, I don't know, one of those things. So I was not expecting you to take to it so quick, but I
Well,
was.
that's why I picked Final Cut, because everything I heard when kind of looking into editing, every Adobe Premiere editor was bitching about Adobe Premiere.
Final Cut people bitch about Final Cut too, but you're right, because you had that baseline iMovie shit. And it's very rudimentary, but all those concepts carry over in a basic way to Final Cut. And but I wasn't the thing I think that gave you the leg up was I was not thinking about all the years you've spent researching for me. That a lot of people wouldn't understand how that would affect an edit. But you're in my head. You know how I think and how I present and a little bit how I joke, right? You know how my humor is.
Well, and us doing this streaming together too,
Right.
like we
Yeah.
kind of bounce off each other.
Yeah. So that's what makes you so valuable to the business, right? That's why you and I are such great partners for a business that we both are in equally on. Because you bring something I can't, I bring something you can't. Y'all like peas in a pod. Exactly. I do have a little criticism. There was a bit too much jabbering about one of the movies. It could have been slimmed down a little. Which one? Do you remember? Was it the one that had where I talked about Anvil, the story of Anvil? Because that one went on a little long, but I liked that.
Yeah, you wanted to take a little digression.
Well, it's just because the director of that movie is the director of one of my favorite documentaries. So I wanted to talk a little bit about Anvil, even though I hadn't watched it. So that went on a little long. Maybe it dragged. I don't know. But the length of these has actually shortened to, like, I think an appropriate amount. Like the first one, because I had to introduce the concept and we were figuring out the concept, about 20 minutes. And the next one was 10, and then now they've settled around 11, 12, probably somewhere between 10 and 20 minutes is what these are going to be. If I have a little more to say about the movie,
Or we just happen to watch more movies and we want to do 5
Yeah.
or 6 in an episode.
Exactly,
instead.
exactly. But yeah, no, I take it back. Yeah, but tell me which one you thought went a little over. Yeah. No, I get you, Matt Blank. I'm not trying to fucking... how you perceive... I'm interested, actually. Which one you thought was a little too... went on a little too... overstayed its welcome in terms of the pace. Because that is a big problem. It's valid feedback. But, we're learning. We're just figuring it out. I'm super happy with that one. Yeah, no worries, Matt. Yeah, go see if you can figure out which one it was you felt went on too long, so that I can. I'll go take a look at it later, and I'll see. How could I have truncated this a little better, if I were apt to do it, right? Not to go back and actually cut it that way, but to think about that the next time I do a Hey Paul. All right.
What's up?
12:30, he says. I guess traffic was great.
Cool. I don't know how, but...
Yeah, I don't know how either.
Cool.
Cool. A Beastie Boys song. So I like old Beastie Boys, but I think it's called Shame in Your Game, and it's from the same album that Intergalactic Planetary, galactic in the galactic plant. You know that song? That album, I can't remember what that album was called, but there's a song called, and it goes, Beastie, Beastie, Beastie in the boy. Sorry. Beastie, 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 Beastie. What is it? How's it go? Beastie, 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 Beastie boys getting live in the spot, to putting all types of shame in the game you got. We keep the party moving from the broad daylight. GETLIVE. That. You were correct. It was the ample section. Cool. Yeah, I'll take that to heart. But I also kind of liked that digression. I like it when another movie reminds me of another movie, or there's some info about it that ties in, and I get to talk about a good movie. But I will take that into account. You know, that's not probably something that'll pop up all that often. But yeah, no, thank you for the feedback. I always appreciate the honest feedback. Yeah. Go by the name as the King Ad Rock Rock. Super educated, I'm smarter than Spock. Get all of the girlies and they will agree. Ain't no brother like the KID. Oh yeah, I'd go to. I mean, you know, they're not all alive anymore, unfortunately. But yes, if I could teleport back in time and go to see the Beasties, I would do it for sure. But are there any C4C reviews you changed the watch, don't watch rating on? I thought 10 Cloverfield Lane was worth watching. Not in retrospect, no. I mean, I still feel the same, but I haven't rewatched that movie since I did that review. I watched it twice for the review, like I do every movie, because I have a tendency to feel a certain type of way about some movies the first time, and then I gain appreciation or lose appreciation on a second watch. So I like to be that thorough, and I don't feel like I need to go watch 10 Cloverfield Lane again. I feel like I'll feel the same way about it because I still remember the movie, you know? So no, I stand on business, but once again, I'm pretty transparent there and here and everywhere else that, you know, different strokes it takes. Different strokes it takes. Different strokes rule the world. Why do some older age men talk about the 1980s as if it was a legendary time when it was special to be alive back then, Paul? I don't know, man. I'm actually kind of like against that shit because I used to wax all poetic about the 80s, but then I started listening to other motherfuckers doing it, and they're out of their minds. Some of these people are just like forgetting how fucked up the 80s were. Listen. Everybody that had a reasonably decent childhood, even if it was marred by tragedy at some point, has a certain amount of nostalgia for that childhood. And there's something to be said for the simplicity of life versus today that existed in the 80s. You know, rotary telephones, no cell phones, no internet, no bullshit, right? No 24-hour news cycles. There are definitely some positives about the 80s, but it wasn't no paradise, dude. The rich got richer, the poor got fucked over and out. Reagan happened, you know what I mean? It's not good, bro. It's not good. Now, some people benefited from Reagan. Reagan actually naturalized over 1 million undocumented people as American citizens, the biggest naturalization in American history. Well, I guess if you don't count our black population after the Civil War. The biggest migrant naturalization in American history. There. How's that? Hear that? It sounds like somebody whipping. It sounds like somebody got a bull whip. Did you hear that? Maybe somebody practicing some whipping out here? There is a little ranch. It's not super close to me, but maybe I'm hearing that whip. Don't drop the joint. Oh, shit. Paul, any advice on dealing with the loss of a pet? I lost my cat this morning. I'm sorry to hear that. No. Here's why I say no. Because the advice that I have to give you is not going to really be all that comforting, but maybe it will be. It hurts. It sucks. You're going to cry. You're going to feel lonely. You're going to look for them and then realize that they're not there for days and maybe even weeks. And you're going to be sad because they were your friend. And there's no easy way to do that, bro. There is no easy way. But I will tell you this. At the end of it, the sweet memories that you have with that animal will replace the grief. And you will have this wonderful memory of a wonderful friend you had. And it'll be wistful and sad for the rest of your life, but it won't be like a gut punch. And that's it. That's what I have to say to you about that. It will get better, but it's going to get worse before it gets better. Because if you actually did lose your cat this morning, right, you're in shock right now. You're feeling grief, but it'll be worse tomorrow. It'll be worse next week. But I'm just being honest. At the end of all of that grief, when you go through the process, you will have a great memory with a beautiful friend that you did right by. You gave them a wonderful, safe life. You did your best by them. And they passed away, and you made it as comfortable for them as possible when it happened. And it's a beautiful thing. That's it, right? You're welcome. And I'm sorry to hear that you're going through that shit. Do you think you're going to snap, femboy? Well, if you need to, you need to, but you'll be okay too. The unfortunate truth is that pets don't live as long as we do, and it's something that everybody has to go through if they want to have pets. And it's how you treat those pets when they're alive, how much you love them, and how well you treat them, and how hard you work to keep them safe and healthy and protected. That matters most. Those pets wouldn't go back and change a moment with you, right? If you did right by them. And that's all you can do, and that's all you have to do as a human being. Right? And you will love again. Try to love again. You can try to love again, but you won't. Because the first cut is the deepest. Baby, I know. First cut is the deepest. And you can try to love again, but you won't. And you can try to love again, but you won't. Because I give so much back to you, and they give it for free. Well, not for free. They do turn a whole stack of money into shit. So it isn't for free. But I get what you're saying. Free in the broad sense. But I don't know. If I saw the pile of money that Dino, in the 10 years that I've loved and known him and been his best buddy, if I saw the pile of money that he has gobbled up and turned into turds in my backyard, bro, I think it would probably be a shocking situation. I wouldn't regret it. I would never take it back, but I bet I'd be shocked at that pile of fucking cash, bro. But that's what? You know what I'm talking about? That's what it is. Paul, what's the biggest durable hard drive you could get? I have no clue, bro. You're asking the wrong dude. Holy fuck. I had a boomer moment the other day, bro. Amelia needed an external hard drive because the one we had was starting to fill up. And I said, okay, you need to get like a 4 or 5, 6 terabyte drive. And I was like, please look into it. Because I trust her. She's really good at finding things. I said, please look into it. Get one that's got a really fast transfer rate and has a high cap, and just order it. And she said, okay. And she told me the name of it. She was like, it's a this, that. I was like, baby, did you look and make, yeah. You made sure it's Apple compatible? Yes. fastest transfer rate. Yes. Okay, you're good. She ordered it, right? And she's like, oh, the hard drive got here. And she pulls out this box, and the box is this big. And I was like, oh no, baby, you fucked up. That's not a hard drive. There's no way that's a 4 terabyte hard drive, because we ended up going with the 4. The 6 was a little slower. So we went with the 4 terabyte, and she opened the box, and this fucking hard drive is a credit card that's thick. It's a thick credit card. And I put it in my hand, and I was like, bro, I was expecting this thing to be you know those old iBooks that were like this thick, they stood up like here, and this little slip of credit card comes, and it's fucking great. No, it's absolutely perfect. It's just, that's how far technology has come since the last time I knew anything about external drives. Wait until you see M.2 SSDs. I don't even want to know. Yeah, I was flabbergasted at the miniaturization that has gone on in hard drive technology. Yeah, it's wild. Yeah, totally fucking unbelievably out of control wild. But anyway, I'm going to let you guys go, because in about 4 minutes or less, I'll be chilling out here with my buddy Goat versus Fish. And maybe, if he feels up to it and we feel up to it, we might do another stream. So keep your ear to the ground for that, because he said he was interested. We might do like a portrait stream. But anyway, I'm going to go. It's been nice talking to you. I'll see you next time. Bye.